Good afternoon. Tom Ginn, host, G-Force. G is for gratitude. Gratitude, when we really study the power of the gratitude in our lives, everything changes. Even when we're, many times people look at just gratitude on the surface, but if you really study the power of gratitude, it eliminates negativity. And when we have tough times, disappointments, losses, going to a place of gratitude gives you a different perspective. It helps you redirect your thinking in a way to deal with any of the issues in your life. Gratitude I use in my coaching. It's a very powerful thing. And one of the books we've been studied was the book called Gratitude Works. I highly encourage everybody out there to get that book and study it. Start applying those principles. And when you come from a place of gratitude, everything around you looks different. The people always ask me, how are you doing? I say, this is the best moment of my life, this very moment, with gratitude, because it's this moment and being grateful for it will dictate what happens next, what was going to happen in the future by how we think in this moment. Gratitude puts you in a positive place, gives you hope. It doesn't eliminate a problem, but it gives you the opportunity to look at it differently, to respond versus react. So we've been studying this last week. Start with a gratitude. Simon Sinek. I highly encourage people to get this book. But today is a little different day than normal. I'm going to be bringing in our guest. I just met this beautiful woman just last night on Ken Wall's GrowLive Academy. And Ken put out a challenge, go live tonight, or one of the members did. And then I invited anybody who wants to join my live stream today, because I didn't have a guest. I normally have a guest on Friday. So I extended that invitation. And my guest today is Barbara. I'm going to put your banner up. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored.
Going live.
Thank you. I took on that challenge, so I'm here. So thank you very much, because you said who wants to jump in, and I was like, I'm here. I'll go.
Okay. And today's going to be just an impromptu, free flow. But before we get going, I just want to make sure everybody, tags and shares. The information we share here may make a difference in somebody's life. So tag and share your friends, and
what I'm doing.
Make a comment. Make a comment where I see a number of people watching. Hey, just make a comment where you're at, where you're checking us out from. If you got any questions, put them up, or any dialogue, any comments you want to make throughout our presentation today. But I'm going to get back to Barbara. Barbara, why don't you share a little bit about yourself, where you're from, a little bit about your family, your journey to where you are now, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. And then I have some questions. I think I prompted a little bit what types of questions I may ask. So it's all yours.
Oh, thank you, Tom. I'm greatly I'm honored. I am Barb with Blessings by Barb. I am a wife of one, a mom of one, and I'm a Mima of two wonderful grandsons that are 5 and 2. They are my heart, my soul. Married for 28 years, going on 29 years in January, to the love of my life, best friend of mine. Couldn't have a better partner to bring me here where I'm at in this world today. So thank you to my husband, Daryl, because he's been like my life support for everything to me, along with my son, Brandon, and then my 2 grandbabies, daughter-in-law. And not only that, but my whole family in tow. I'm all about just being family, friends, sharing love, sharing happiness, sharing joy. And I've been through some struggles in my life that's, been challenging, and I'm not going to say I haven't. And now where I'm at today, I want to just say I'm very grateful. and I'm very thankful because of the life that I have. Back in the day, I was probably a big challenge for me. I was about 530 plus pounds, and had a life-changing moment at the age of 31 when the doctor told me I would never see my 32nd birthday again. And I was like, whoa, there's something wrong here. And I realized that my problem was it was me and my health, and I needed to do something about it. So I chose to do something about it. And with that, the help of my husband, the support of my family and my friends allowed me to change my life and to become a better person and to be able to share that with others. And that's what my whole really purpose is just to inspire people to know that they can be who they want to be, and by being all you dream and desire to be. And with that, I've lost over about 330 pounds. I am continuing on my journey because my journey still has a little bit more to go. But the way I look at it is I just turned, well, I'll be 52 in March. And I can honestly say it's a blessing to be here, because I just want to be able to share my story with others. And with that, I know that there's somebody out there that needs to hear what I've gone through and what I've been through. I'm not saying that everything's been perfect, because it's not, but because I have God in my right hand and I have him in my heart and I have him with me, he's going to guide me for everything and everywhere I need to go. And that sign that you see behind me that says never, never give up, that's one of my key mottos into my, is just never give up, because we have a future, we have a life, and we are worthy, and we are our people. And we have to realize that we have to just sometimes get out of our own damn way. And I learned that just recently over a weekend. And it's just amazing on how we can do what we have to do for others. And I want to be a blessing to others. So,
Well, I just want to acknowledge Christopher Rauch. He's, he interviewed Ken Walls here just last week. I've been on his show, and he's been on mine, and he's an awesome coach. And thanks, Chris, for jumping on today. And I just want to acknowledge you for the power that you bring and the difference you're making in people's lives. But you said something, and I think it's important, is that lots of times we don't value what we have until we hit a crisis, right? Yours was the doctor giving you the word that we don't want to hear, knowing there might be an end date, right? Mm-hmm. On our physical earth. And I think it's a testimonial. I don't know what what the condition was or anything. You can share whatever you like. But I believe when you get that wake up, that emotional call, wow, why am I here? What am I willing to fight for? The why, all those deep internal things. And I believe that's even more important than medication and drugs and doctors and everything else. That's my own perspective. I don't downplay any of that. But I think that what I heard from you, this is that you had a strong wake up call and want to take control.
Yep.
And, unfortunately, that's where most people make changes in life, when they have a sudden emotional impact.
Yeah.
And you had one, right?
I did. And I had one, and I was on lots of medications, you name it, whatever. And I was tired and sick and tired of being stuck on those medications, as they were making me worse in the long run, all the way around. And when I went through my weight loss, and then I had a couple of little challenges, I'm not going to say, like I said, everything was not perfect. I started noticing that I had some weight gain come back on me. And when I realized it, I was like, no, I went too far to get where I was to go back. And in 2012, I've always been in the beauty industry of like the skin, makeup, things like that. It's always been in a beauty industry since like 2004. As career changes, life changes, things like that, went into the industry of just being an entrepreneur for myself, because my grandmother always told me back in the day that a little paint will make you what you ain't. And so that was something that I always was stilled in my head as a little girl, that I always had to have makeup on, always had to look the best, you name it, whatever. And it was years and years and years. I'm like, well, okay, well, then I just love makeup. I love skin. I love makeup. So that was one of my little things that I did. And as I was going on through life, going with my son, growing up and everything, challenges, and my health got to the best of me. I then was on a lot of medications throughout the years, and I got unhealthy. And I didn't want to be unhealthy anymore. So with that, I've been on the process and a journey to help me change my life better, to get healthier, to start with nutritional supplements and going with more of a natural base line versus being on a pharmaceutical line. And over the years, I've been through changes, and now I'm back to being on the healthier side. And when the doctor says, hey, Barb, your levels are looking good, you're doing really great, that was to me as a major improvement, because I went from being on like 12 to 13 different medications to down to 2. And now my rest of them are all vitamins and supplements that I take. So everybody can do a change. It's just a matter of how much we want to change, how much we want to do things, and what we want to acquire in life. I've got a lot of dreams ahead of me. I got big goals. I got big dreams, and I want to be able to retire from that little bit of corporate America job that I do have, which is called a bus driver, because I am a special needs bus driver that I've been for the last 17 years. And then, of course, I want to retire my husband from his, working job every day that he has to work so much. And we want to be able to just live life freely, be able to travel, have fun, enjoy our retirement. We don't want to be stuck in like sickness and health in the retirement. We want to be healthy. And I'm just here to share that with everybody, because who doesn't want to be healthy? Who doesn't want to look good? And who doesn't want to have a pretty smile? I don't know.
I want to make a couple of comments, and I love the accent of women from the South. I mean, I have to confess that it sort of melts me as a man. It's just that accent. But a real good friend of mine I'm from California. A real good friend of mine, his father got transferred. He was a vice president of Standard Oil, moved down to Mississippi, down to Pascagoula. And so I went down for the first time after Greg was down there about a year and a half, and I came back with an accent. It's amazing how that happens. But when I heard the young girls and the women talk with that accent, I says that's the ultimate excitement is hearing that accent. But anyway, I love it. I love the comment. What did your grandmother say?
A little paint will make you what you ain't.
I love, you go to the South and they've got these great little sayings that are just simple, cute, or I don't know even if it's a cute statement, but it's a great way. People in this, I love the South in many reasons. But you mentioned something about health. I've made some critical choices in my life and my why. And, I do a lot of personal financial coaching and help people win with money, teach people how to go into business, sharing with you how do you build wealth and how to create the freedom that you seek and all that. But I'll tell my why story here in a moment. And it sort of sounds like you want to share your success, or you don't want to hold it in as a secret and then die with regrets. If you have an answer for people.
Yeah.
All we can be in this life is messengers. Would you agree? How
Correct.
People receive it's up to them. But your testimony, a lot of people, when you study this book, people don't care what you do and how you do it. They really care about why you're doing it, why you're delivering the message from your own experience, because that will resonate with people. Too many people out there say, well, you need to buy my product or service because it's the best, or it's the cheapest, or whatever. People don't care. They want to know, how did it benefit you?
Right.
What was the impact it had with you? And so I think that's important, because I had a business colleague of mine pass 3 weeks ago.
Sorry.
Yeah. Great guy, had diabetes 1, not a healthy guy, brilliant guy, great copywriter, just a great overall hearted guy. And I had information about health that I'm associated with a company. I was pretty much new in the company. And I went to the rationale. I want to acknowledge a couple people here before I get in here. Jerry, hey, thanks for coming on, Jerry. You're awesome. There's a guy that knows how to make things happen. Scott Ricard, thanks for following us. Thank you for joining in on Coachman's Bible study while we're filling in for him. So thanks for following. Share this out. But see, I had that wake up in life, that
Right.
sudden emotion. I believe in the why is your driving force, all those things. I had one of my first mentors in life, a significant player in American business, name was Art Williams. I was in the first decade of that company. I'm dating myself now. But I met with him on his yacht. I had earned that opportunity to meet with him on one-on-one with probably one of the biggest business moguls at the time. He founded A.L. Williams. It moved and morphed into Citigroup in Primerica. And and I remember sitting down with Art on the yacht, and I had 90 minutes with him. Best 90 minutes. It was the foundation. And he said, Tom, what's your crusade? And he says, Tom, if you don't have a crusade, something that you're willing to stand up and promote and fight for a cause, what is your crusade in life? And not just in business, not just, what is that crusade? He said this statement. If you don't have a crusade, or if you take Simon Sinek's teaching, your deep emotional why, you're going to live a life of mediocrity, frustration, and thing you don't want to do is die with regrets. You never get passionate about who you are and what you do and why you do it. And when you do that, everything changes. Would you agree? You have that emotional impact, and I can tell you're not hesitant to share the good news, right?
Correct. Not at all. And that's like, everybody, might say, what is, your goal? And people, a lot of people might say financial freedom and things like that. And you know what? Mine's a choice without regrets. And I will give that to a very important person that I heard that from about 1.5 years ago. I just started doing some personal development for myself, personal growth, things like that. And Gary LaRue, one of our coaches with our mastery, with Master Networks, made a comment and said that financial freedom was not just all about monetary and money. It was about choices without regret. And that stuck with me so much that I'm like, wow, that was an eye opener. So I have to give him kudos for that comment, because he really just gave me a great aspect of not that it's all about a monetary vision. Money's great. Money's awesome, because like Brad Schroeder says, everything's funny when you're making money, so it's kind of cool. But it's really cool that when, and not only that, and another person, I heard that made a comment and said that you can have all the wealth in the world, but if you don't have love, how are you going to share that wealth? And that was an eye opener for me too. And I want to be able to share that love with everybody. And a lot of times, if I can just really just put a smile on your face, that's really what I want to do, because then that's where my true blessings are coming out, because I put that smile on your face, and I just seen you smile. So I like that.
You're speaking something. I just want to acknowledge Troy Aberley. This is the father of Luke, the 12-year-old entrepreneur. He's also teaches a lot of the same principles. As a matter of fact, we're both certified by the same gentleman, Bob Proctor, in thinking into results. Thanks for jumping on, Troy. You're awesome. You're doing a great job helping your children better understand unlimited possibilities, having the right attitudes in life, determining a why early in life. And so, Troy, thanks for jumping on. And then we got
Hey,
Marla, this a
Maria.
friend of yours? I see.
Yes. Hey, Maria. I
How
was
cool.
actually just on another call with her a few minutes ago. Was my New York buddy. Woo, woo.
Well, thanks for being here. Make it a point to join in on G-Force. You never know this information, how it's going to impact somebody's life. Just some of the things that Barbara is talking about is inspiring, and it reaffirms what I know, but hearing it from somebody else. So, you know, being grateful, loving people, unconditional, and giving people making people feel special, because we're all special.
Mm-hmm.
But you leave them with that smile, the look in the eye, or a compliment goes a long ways, because we never know where they are in their state of life, and that could be the difference of somebody staying on this earth or not. Sometimes
Sometimes you're correct on that. That is 100% true. And with that, it's just been. You had made a comment earlier about something about maybe mentors or people who have inspired, and I mean, I have so many to go and just be thankful for. One, I'll be honest, because if it wasn't for Ken Walls and his GrowLive Academy, and giving me a call with Victoria Espinal the other night to say,
yeah.
Barb, wake up, so I was like, okay, I had to get on. I had to realize I get back into the game, after having the hurricane and being, hit without no power, no electricity, no cell service for, 3 to 4 weeks. It was like, whoa, what happened here? And now getting back into reality is like, we still have life, and I got to thinking about what did people do back in the day when they didn't have cell phones and we didn't have all these other things. We made do with what we had to do with, and we went forward. And we sometimes take for granted, what we have now for what we had in the past. And yeah, I'm dating my age at that time too, but that's okay. But to know that we have so much technology and so much to go for, that we can get our word out, share our love, share what we have to offer through communication, through networking, through groups like this. And not only that, but it's a way for us to inspire others. And when you made that challenge last night about jumping on the call, I was like, I'll do it. I'm game. And then you popped up and you went live last night. I'm like, okay, now I got to go live because you said the challenge. So it's really cool that we have a network that we can help each other. We can encourage each other. We can promote each other. But not only that, but we can just be friends and help each other in our own little worlds, because like you said, we never know where we're going to go, what we might need, or what word might need to have that one little next day is going to get me forward to the next day. And I'm honored and blessed. I'm honestly just a girl that's a aloe baby that's just building her empire to help share the love with others and everything. So
You mentioned a couple things, and we made a little transition here. I just want to acknowledge everybody that's been here today, and just met you last night. First time I ever saw you was on the GrowLive, and I put that little thing out there, and you jumped on it, and you had a couple conversations last night with you, and this morning or this afternoon, and what I love about you is your positiveness, your energy. I think people get hung up on images and the right words and having glitz and all this stuff that's false. There's a lot of falseness out there, and your authenticity just resonates with me. And I know it's resonating with those that are watching as well, because you're talking your why in all the things you do. You're expressing your whys.
thank you.
There's not just one why. There's
No,
not
I
just
get
one.
goosebumps. I don't know if you can see them, but my hair's standing up and it's goosebumps.
What's your why that carries it through everything you do? We have a common core of a why, but we have why, how we want to be in relationship with our family, a relationship, and you'll find a common thread And you just be clear on that. And when you get to understanding your why, the world changes around you. It's always been there, but you're now in a way that your frequency, or we're on that same, we all operate on energy.
Right.
If I wasn't in the energy state or awareness state that I am through growth, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yep.
There's some people that'll be hearing this and it'll turn off because they don't understand that there's a whole different communication going on here besides words.
Right.
Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
And when you understand your why, the people, the things around you start showing up, which have always been there. And it's only through awareness. So we have a great opportunity. But I want to make a transition a little bit about you. You do the, your husband. What's your husband do?
He's an operator for one of the gas and oil companies.
Okay, and then you do it. You drive special needs kids around. That's got to be. And I'll tell you this. I love autism. I don't know what special need kids you do, but I interviewed an autistic child here just recently on my interview. Such a gifted. They're angels. They have so much wisdom. They have so much to give. And I love, you would only like to put people in spectrums. They're just like you and I. They just have a better lens in life. That's why I look at it. Yep. They see the world through a better set of lens without a bunch of filters and garbage that they put on them. That is, they just bless me. So,
and they just want to be loved. They just want to be loved. They just want to be treated like normal people.
Yep.
They want to be treated like anybody else, that there is nothing wrong with them and there shouldn't be anything wrong with them because they might have a disability, whether it's autism, whether it's a learning, seeing, hearing, whether it's tube feeding, non-feeding, whatever it may be, wheelchair accessible. There is no difference, and they should all be treated just like we all are. And that's one thing that I value, because those are my babies. They're my babies, and they've been my babies. And even though they're junior high and high school, they're still mine. And I want them, to know that we take care of them. We take pride. And I'll be honest, driving that bus, putting that lift down, having that child get on that wheelchair lift in the middle of the highway, and people run my stop sign does not make me a happy camper. I will be honest. I get a little upset because
rightfully so.
Just stop. Take some patience, because these are normal people too, and they have to get on through their life just like others do. But don't blow your horns at us. Don't run those stop signs. That's why they're out there for a reason, because it's to protect those children and everything. So, that's.
Yeah, you should honor the same way you honor any other school bus, right? We're there to protect the children, no matter what their spectrum is, right? No matter where they are. So, unfortunately, people aren't even aware of what they're doing, and they're in a hurry. They're in a hurry.
Too much.
And can't way too much. And so we can have we can do a whole lot of coaching here today. But let's so you have some goals and visions to fulfill some goals and dreams and get, retire, whatever that means. Or I don't ever use the word retire. I've created a life that I don't want to retire from. I do what I do because I love it, not because I need to anymore.
Okay, so if that's okay, so I want to be able to do my fun job, which is my job I enjoy, which is networking, sales. It honestly is sales, because no matter what you are, I think everybody is in sales.
Sure.
You're no matter what you do, you're in sales. But my thing is just I love communicating with people. I love to get to know people. I want to find out what their needs are, what their pain issues are. I want to find out what triggers them, because if I have something that I can offer, I want to be able to share that with them. If I don't, then I want to be able to refer them I can to. And that's what I love. Robert made a comment, said something about how he loves something about, I used school bus endorsement on my license for 27 years. Nice. We need more bus drivers. So you sure you're going to go get your license back? Because they're needing more bus drivers.
He's in Canada. I'm sure they have the same problem up there. So Robert's in Canada. Thanks for jumping in, Robert. He follows all the time. Great guy. Share it out. But yeah, you mentioned something there is, and I'm a personal development coach. I'll just make this. It's called Maslow, our hierarchy of needs. And when we communicate with people, and we can learn this skill, my wife's the best I've ever met at it, is, do you see me? Do you hear me? And do you care? And you take yourself out of the equation. And if you can listen at that level, you create a whole different level of communication in life. And then leave people in a better place than you encountered through love. So if we understand our needs, I want to be heard, that's an innate thing of human beings. I want to be heard. I want to be seen. Do you see me? And do you really care?
Yep.
That's our need.
Yeah. I think majority of people is also too is God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Yep.
You have to listen. And I'll be honest, for a long time, I was all about me. I was. And I put it out there. And then I had to do a lot of personal development myself in order for me to realize that I have to listen. And I have to make choices and make the right choices. Sometimes I don't make always the right choices, but at the same time, I want to be able to listen to others first, hear what they have to say, and then go from there. And it's a process. And I'm not going to say something that it's easy to just, I can just do this and do that and do it. Sometimes we have to learn to bite our tongue, hold back, stop a minute, think about what we want to say. And then sometimes we just might not say nothing at all. But at the same time, I want to be able to just still, how can I help you? What can I bless you? And if I can't, who can I refer you to? Yeah.
And what you were saying, I'm going to get into a little specifically, one of the things you're doing, I don't know all what you do, just like you don't know all what I do. I run 5 different things.
Yeah, me too.
My wife and I, we were entrepreneurs, and, we've taken that challenge and risk, for over 30 years to control our own destiny. And that's been our calling, and we just like to share it to help people. But you mentioned something, your health. A lot of people forget about their health. They're chasing the wrong things. No matter how much money you have or how you're trying to aspire to get, money is nothing more than energy you can transfer to fill your whys and make a difference in the world. And people get focused on the wrong things, because I can teach people how to make money, but if they don't have a why in life and they don't have health, if you lose your health, just the ability to even walk, it transforms everything about the quality of life. And you could have the most money that you can imagine, but without your health, you can lose it overnight just because of health.
Correct.
What value does money have? So I'm taking a mission on making sure people that your number one priority in life is not the money you're chasing. It's your health and your why. What are you going to contribute in this world? And everything else will fall in place. So talk about a little bit your journey and some of the businesses that you're in or have done, or where you're going with that. I'd like to hear that.
Where I've done, I've been, like I said, I was in multiple businesses to where I've started with Mary Kay. That was one of the first ones I started with. And technically I still can be a Mary Kay rep, because I've not let go of that license type thing, because it's just, I have a few customers that are dear to heart that love Mary Kay. So I kind of keep that service for them. As in moving in forward to the health wise, I wound up joining with It Works for a little while. I was with them for about 9 years, and that was the purpose of joining, was because of the health and there was more supplements and products that get me to where I needed to go. With that, I've transitioned over the last 2 years to Trace Skin. And the reason why that is because of the doctor. I value him, what he has done on the formulations, the nutrition side, the nutraceutical side, and the purity of his products that he promotes and that he delivers. And because of what he created in the beginning worked for me. And as I transitioned to the new company, it has just made more sense for me to go where something works for me, whereas it's worked for me. I can't tell you that it will work for everybody, but what I would recommend is that you try and at least do something to see whether or not it would benefit you or not. And one of the main things that I needed in my life was I have since I had my gastric bypass surgery back in 2001. With that, my depletion of iron was a thing that I could not get, and I was struggling with having to retain iron, get iron back and forth. And as the years would go by, things like that, would not be able to. I was having to rely on iron infusions to actually have what I needed to do. And it was starting to get a little costly for me because not only were they happening, but they were happening every 4 to 6 months to go do an iron infusion. And it was over and over. And I'm like, okay, something's got to change. Well, when I joined with Trace Skin back in April of 2020, the first question I asked, I was like, what's the supplements? What do you have? What do you get? Things like that. And Dr. Don made a comment and he says, well, we've got 2 different types of vitamins. We have one for him and we have one for her. And I was like, okay, well, tell me what's the difference. And he goes, well, first of all, the hers is going to give you everything that you need. So I'm just going to kind of show it real quick. I don't know if you could see it or not, but it's called hers. And I asked him, I said, what's the difference between vitamins before? What's the difference? He goes, I've made it to where they're going to geared for women to help with your hormones, to help with just your balance, your whole body. It's going to give me what I need and not less, not more. But the one thing that it did have in it was to have iron in this. And with having iron in it, I was like, I don't know. I can't take iron pills because I get the iron supplements. I'm not making any medical claims or anything like that, so I don't want to do that. But what it has found is that it's helped me not be able to have to do iron infusions every 4 to 6 months. I'm actually can take this. It's helped balance out my hormones. It has helped keep my iron levels normal to where I am stable and not being at it, because what it's doing is it's giving me the supplements my body needs. And it's putting it in there. And this has probably been one of my lifesaver things for being on a founding brand partner with Trace Skin, is that this has kind of helped me because it's October of 2021. And the last time I had an infusion was January of 2020. So I'm just thankful that this is working for me, and that it's made for the women. And the men does not have the iron in it because men more like produce more iron than women do. So they don't need that in their supplement. And he has it to where it can actually work for the men and help with their prostrate to healing, protecting, and gearing them in the right direction for them. And then the hers is for the women. So it's a really good balance on us. But if you're looking for a great vitamin and you need something that's pure and natural, and it's all about the plant-based, and it's non-GMO, and it's non-paraben, and it's also geared to natural, pure ingredients, feel free to check out my website at thetraceskinrx.com/beachgirl and check out his or hers, because you never know, it might be something that might be beneficial to you, like it has been for me. Again, if you're not sure what it is and you want more information, I'd love to chat with you, talk with you, and see if it might be something that you can try and work. Again, I'm not making any medical claims or anything. I just know that it has helped me feel better about myself, and it has helped me keep going forward. And on top of that, oh my gosh, the amazing skincare that we have. Who has 100% medical grade aloe vera skincare as your first ingredient? This has probably been the best, changing from the inside with the vitamins to gearing on the outside. Because you know how I made that comment earlier and I said a little paint will make you what you ain't and things like that? Well, before I joined the company, I would not even walk out the house without no makeup. You wouldn't even catch me out the door. Now, yeah, I have makeup on now because I put it on, but there's times where I'll walk out the door and I'll be like, I don't need it because I've got glowing, beautiful skin and it's healthy and it's shining. And because of my aloe vera, Tray Skin, probiotics, and plant-based products. Yeah. So.
Were you spraying that last night on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a demo here. There you go. There you go. We were watching you do your demo, and I loved it last night when you had a brochure or something. You were looking underneath it. You know, that just whatever. Yeah, you were sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's got like all kind of cute little pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, body language, you didn't hear a word you were saying because you were muted, but it was so obvious. And I think that's a testimonial who you are, your belief and what you're doing. And I said, I want to know more. And I didn't even know what the heck you were talking about. But just that energy you come across. Seriously, folks, that's not just some crazy thing. That's how we operate. We know who we want to connect with. Right?
Right.
And if we get our why really square, that's what, this is, people take this casually. This is probably one of the most important things you can learn in your life is what's your calling? Why are you here? Who are you going to serve in life?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to serve your family? What's your legacy going to be? Write your eulogy. What would people say? Like Chris Rauch was on a little bit ago. He says he went to a friend's funeral. And it woke him up because it was talking about all this surface ornament stuff, life, about the parties and the good time and all this stuff, but there was no legacy. No, he says he went home and had an emotional wake up and he wrote his eulogy. What does he want to leave this world for himself, his family, and everybody he touches in life? He wrote his eulogy. And I think that's where a lot of people don't understand the power of that. Mm-hmm. Start with how you want to leave this earth and how people viewed you, not because you were a funny guy, you drank hardy, you partied hardy, and there was a lot of that good stuff. But what did you contribute to your community, to your family? And we don't have to be evangelists. But we can make impact in people's lives in anything we do. And I think, here I am doing my coaching. And hopefully that's resonate with people out there. But you got it.
Thank you. And I'm actually in the process of in a coaching class that I'm in right now. And part of the homework is to write your urology, is to do that. So that's my step I'm on right now. So when you said that, I'm like, okay, I got to go to work.
And it's not easy work. Identifying your why and how it's influenced, how our culture. That's a corny why. Why should I do that? No one else is doing that. Nope, our schools, our education, our culture, or, not how we're brought up and our families influence and our friends and all those things influence how we should structure why. Usually it's around their why, not yours. So here I am coaching. That's what I love doing.
How long have you been married? Because I know you said your wife was your idol. She's got everything there and stuff like that. And she's got to be a very strong woman because I don't know her, I haven't met her, but whatever she's giving you, I can see it because she's definitely giving you that love and that structure, so that you can turn around and share it with others. So kudos to her. Yeah,
she's learned that skill through her life experience and training, and in that, in what she does in her career. And we've gone through the same training with the Proctor Gallagher. I'm a certified coach with John Maxwell and a bunch of certifications, but she's been my best teacher.
Okay.
Greatest example. And she's part of my why. Okay. So when I did my very first live, before I interviewed anybody else, she was my very first one, my greatest influencer. And she knows that. Do you see me? Do you hear me? And do you care? She's the best listener I've ever met.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's Maslow. That's some psychological principles. If we understand it on the simplest level, we become better human beings. And when we become better, we cannot help but others around us become better.
Correct.
Would you agree?
I agree.
So what else do you do? Is that your primary thing? I know
that's my primary is a trace scan. Okay. So of course I'm a grit and grace influencer because we put in the grit and we deal with the grace, and that's basically what we are. And that's our team name is Grit and Grace. And of course, I have that. I do a little bit of Tastefully Simple because I figure if you got to be healthy on the inside and outside, you might want to be able to eat healthy at the same time too. Not the perfect on the cook. I will give it to you. My husband is the cook, and he does all of that. So, but I get the little seasonings and the recipes, so he can kind of use those seasonings toward the good, healthy part of the cooking. And they do have some things that are not so healthy, but it's okay. And then I also do ACN, A.B. Gabor. I notice he's one of your friends on yours. He's one of my mentors.
I'm associated with A.B.
He is one of my sponsors with ACN. So I help people save on their utility bills and basically help with their essential bills in life. So I'm kind of like an all-around shop type person to where I can help you from the inside, feeling good and healthy, looking good and pretty, to eating on good meals, and then saving some money or making some money on your bills and electricity. And on top of that, I also am part of our Master Networks networking group and a couple other networking groups that I have, my North Shore Business Exchange and my Master Networks. Those are my networking groups that I feel blessed with. And I've been able to change my business because of my networking groups and to grow in the 5+1 mastery and just things like that, to where I'm excited to learn more. And I want to be able to learn more so I can share more with others at the same time too. So I got a little bit of multiple things in me.
That goes to the, excuse me, sorry, I stepped on you there, but that is the testimony of the groups you associate with. If you're the smartest one in the room, it's time to get out of that group and find that group that's going to challenge you, take you to a different level. And because, you know, as Jim Rome says, you can evaluate the quality of your life based on the 5 people you hang around the most with.
Correct.
Challenge yourself. Get out of that comfort zone. Get into, you know, we look at people, we feel intimidated, right? Oh, gee, I'm not as smart or I'm not as talented. And guess what I found out? They're just like you and I. They just think differently, right? They just have a different perspective. And that's what I want to learn.
Yeah.
Because I have limited thinking. We all do, to one degree or another, right? We all have unlimited potential. The universe has unlimited opportunity. What's your belief system?
Right.
What's your belief system? And even the most successful people I've ever interviewed or have coached have limiting beliefs. And so when you crack that barrier and you can take yourself to the next level, and changing groups changes how you see this world and the potential, because they're not special. They are special in God's eye. We're all special, but they don't have anything different than you and I have.
Right.
They don't.
Oh. And then not only that, but I like, you know, when you said changing the groups and stuff like that, you had to find what's good for you.
Exactly.
And what feeds you and what inspires you. Because if it doesn't inspire you to grow more, then you're right. You need to change groups and get out of, and it doesn't mean you can't go back to it or anything, but just you've got to find yourself and you got to find your why. And when you do find that why, it makes a big difference. I'll be honest. I have that why. I can speak it all I want, but to write it down and to literally put it on paper, it's like I got so many whys that I want to write down. It's hard to start with one, but at the same time,
Can I help you with this?
Yes, please.
First identify the things you don't want in your life. No negotiation. You don't want any of that in your life. Make that list first. Then the whys come easy.
Okay. That was kind of on my coaching class this morning, that when we did our little call this morning on our Gulf Coast region call that we do as our mastermind call that we do every Friday. And that was one of the things was, what are your goals and what do you don't want to do? And those are the two things, like, what do you want and what do you don't want? And I'm like, okay, you're speaking to me.
There's universal laws, and when we understand them, sometimes the light comes on. I've heard that before. Now I understand it, right? Now you got to apply it. It has not, knowledge is great, but if you don't put it into action, it has no value whatsoever. So,
correct.
But here's something too, and those are out there, because I've been studying this stuff for over 6 years now and changed my life, understanding how Tom Ginn thinks. I think everybody thinks the same way. We all have the subconscious programming and how you can change that. But here's the key that most people miss in establishing goals. Goals by themselves don't work.
Nope.
I remember Bob Proctor sitting in his home in Toronto. I became a consultant, went there prepped to tell him my business plan and how he can support me building my coaching practice. And I built businesses before. So I had my 3-ring binder with my mission, vision, value statements, my marketing plan. I could take it to a bank. Okay. And he read it through here and he thumbed through it. And he was reading it. He reads a lot, so he can read things quickly. And he sort of abruptly put it down. Boom. He says, Tom, I can give you the best business plan of any company, of any individual in the world, and they won't work for you. And I said, what do you mean, Bob? I mean, I just follow the plan. Now he says, no, the plans don't cause you to win. It's your belief system. You don't have a good relationship to who you are and your capabilities and your beliefs and your relationship to money, because I had a $1.5 million business plan in 3 years. Mm-hmm. I did my thing, right? He says, Tom, what's the most you've ever made? And I told him that number. He says, you make that every year? It was far short of 1.5. By the way, it was way short. He said, what have you been making the last 5-10 years up to this point? And I told it. And it's significant compared to what we look at other people when we look at the norms and averages out there. I don't believe in norms and averages.
Right.
That's limited thinking. And he says, Tom, you've been programmed to perform at that level. We're going to change how you think and change your relationship. And he ran me through some program. And the key here is your belief system. The key, goals by themselves won't work. What's your vision? What is your why? When you tie into that, fear is no longer an obstacle. Your why will drive you through all the difficulties it's going to give you, all the challenge. They tell you what, life is a challenge, right? In many ways. But when your vision is clear, and I encourage anybody out there, one of my own clients taught me and turned me on to somebody that woke me up in a different way. Write this down. Dr. Miles Monroe. The book, The Power of Vision. He's dead. Him and his wife were killed in a plane crash. He had an institute out of teaching these principles. And that changed how I help my clients get clear on their why and vision. Goals don't work. They don't work by themselves.
No.
So,
and you just
talked last night. We'd be doing a lot of coaching and feedback, right? What do you get it coming away with?
I got to put down my don'ts. I've got to make sure I got to go and put my urology, and that I want to be a legacy. I don't want to be just somebody that was just Barb. I want to be a legacy to my child, to my grandchildren, to my husband, and not only that, but to God, because I want him to know that I am what he has called me to be, and I want to be that person. So
wonderful. Well, an hour goes quick, doesn't it?
It does.
This is live streaming because you're going to be doing this, right?
I am going to be doing this. Yes, I am. I'm in the process of learning how to do it like this.
You know what? I didn't learn how to do it by studying the stuff. I got in there, did this thing. Guess what I did? Day
You just
one.
started it.
Jump. Jump.
Well, that's why when you said it was open last night, I was like, I'll jump. So I'm jumping with you. So.
And guess what? We'll figure out how to invent the parachute on the way down. I mean, you're not going to crash and burn.
No.
That's how you learn. And you do the first one, you go, I did a live stream. I forgot to hit the go live, and I did this beautiful interview. And then I go, oh man, did I really mess up? I had to call him back because, he says, where's the link? And I said, I don't know. And then I recognize it was still in the queue that I didn't go live. So
it's okay. We learn, right?
We're worried about what people are going to think. You're going to make mistakes. Have some fun too along the journey, right?
That's what I say. I just go with the flow, and I hit that button sometimes, and it's like, sometimes my husband laughs at me and he goes, "What are you doing? Don't you know you sound so stupid?" I went, "Yeah, oh well, that's just me." It is.
Well, on this note, I always like to ask this. I know what you've said about your faith, and that's the predominant influencer, and is mine as well. But in this world of walk, who's been the most influential person that you would recommend somebody to study? Have you had any personal development, read Jim Rohn or any of these great thought thinkers?
Right now, I would probably have to, my top three right off the bat would be Ursula Mendez, Ken Walls, and maybe four, Travis Perry, and then Clay Stevens. Those have probably been very, very big, influential people to me. In the, I don't want to say higher level, but just a little bit more educated, maybe more or something, and
more enlightened.
And it's just, those have been like people that I've been going back to, and
Sure.
and because that I find value in them. And each one of them have given me something, but at the same time, they're kind of given this, not the same thing, but they're saying it differently to where I understand it better and I get it better. So it's not just one time I've heard it. It's not two, it's multiple times. And it's just the way they put it together gives me that clarity. And then I also want to give kudos to you. So thank you for just putting it out there, being real, and just giving that opportunity to just give the gratitude back to somebody else. So thank you for being that great inspiration.
Wonderful. We all can learn from somebody. Your presence and how you communicate your essence of who you are, that's a gift. It's a learning experience. So I just want to compliment you and thank you for jumping and take the big jump today. So you're figuring out how to make that parachute on the way down. So you did fantastic. It's going to be a soft landing.
Like a winner, and then maybe next time I'll have you come on my screen, on my live.
Well, I would love to. We'll just talk about whatever you want to set the agenda on. But I just want to, again, thank you. It's a pleasure. Just encountered you last night, and we had a quick call last night, and here we are. It's like I've known you
forever.
For eons.
Yeah.
So like minds connect, right?
Yes,
So
they do.
like hearts connect. So I'm going to put you in the back room, and I'm going to close out with a couple of announcements, and so hang tight, and I will be back with you in a second. Thank you very much. Barbara. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm so excited to get to know her. But I want to make a couple announcements. Reach out to her. Her contact information is there. If you're concerned about your health, and I believe it's only through awareness can you make changes in your life. Take the time to investigate what she's sharing with you. But let's do this. I'm going to get into a couple things, announcements. The first announcement I want to do is Mark Gassert and I Elevate Your Profits. Our guest is Bud Matthews. Bud has been a marketing and a sales training consultant for some very significant Fortune 500 companies. He resides here in Milwaukee. I met Bud about 6 years ago through a Toastmaster event, and we become friends. He'd retired from the corporate thing, but he got back into his own business because all his clients said, "We need you. We need what you've been teaching." And he created a business. And if you have whether you're a solopreneur, whether you have a business and you're looking to hire the right people, that's a challenge for any organization. You need to turn on your notifications for Monday at 6 p.m. Bud Matthews. I'm going to bring up his picture. See if I got it here. Maybe I don't. I don't have his picture. Shame on me. There we go. But anyway, it's in my Elevate Your Profits queue. But turn on your notifications. Also, moving forward here, my corporate sponsor. Now, it's not my. It's one of the companies that I'm associated with. I believe the power of the message they're doing about health is really important for people to know. I want you to I'll put up this picture here. What's in this bottle? It's been recognized as probably the greatest medical breakthrough of the 21st century. It deals with cellular health, 3 Nobel Prizes behind it, and the technology is phenomenal. I've been using the product for 5 months, and I've had a significant change in my personal health. Our clients, their blood works, and all things that their meds are dropping, but it's not a vitamin, it's not a mineral, it's what your body already has in it. The mitochondria takes the salt water in your cells and converts them to redox molecules. It's a cell signaling process. It's totally different technology. It's changing how doctors are looking at health, what science is doing. So I encourage you to look at this for your own well-being. And because I took a vow that I would never not share this with another human being, because I lost a friend because I didn't share it. I don't know whether he would have used it, accepted it, or had any benefit, but I know this: I don't want to die with regrets. That's my why. So we got another announcement here. Okay, a little comment. So I'm going to put this banner up here. This is more information. If you want to find out more about it, you can go to the Linktree / any questions you have, be free to give me a call, schedule an appointment. So that's my sponsor. And I'll put up my banner up here real quick. ASEA, from the sea. Your body is made up of saline. So that is the technology behind it. So everybody have a great day. Make it a great day. It's with gratitude. When you have gratitude, you eliminate negativity. Even when tragedies happen, when you didn't do something you might have should have, if you look at gratitude, what could I have done differently? It changes how you move in your life. Find out your why. Get your vision clear and watch your world change around you. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. We're going to get back in the book. We're going to dive deeper in chapter 3, because this is the deepest chapter that you need to understand and study. So get the book and we'll go from there. We are signing out. If I can find my thing here.